From the Washington Times, I'm Ramsey Touchberry. Congress returns from its 4th of July recess this week with growing objections on the left and right to President Biden's military policies. There's also a looming Senate fight over Supreme Court ethics standards. The major item up for debate in the House is one of few perennial must-pass bills, the $886 billion National Defense Authorization Act. House conservatives are using the legislation as a vehicle to buck the Pentagon's progressive social personnel policies. The measure sets the stage for what could be a brutal policy fight once it reaches the floor. There is a wish list of GOP-authored add-ons. They include measures like preventing funding for diversity, equity, and inclusion practices in the military, slashing funding for gender transition surgeries, and prohibiting funding for the military's education arm to teach critical race theory. The Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman and number 2 Senate Democrat Dick Durbin says legislation to impose Supreme Court ethics standards will be considered as Congress returns from its break. The move will make good on a previous promise from the Illinois Democrat to try and enact laws governing the High Court, following reports of conservative justices receiving undisclosed lavish gifts from GOP donors. He said, quote, "Since the Chief Justice has refused to act, the Judiciary Committee must. The highest court in the land should not have the lowest ethical standards." Liberal justices have disclosed receiving gifts of their own, and gifts worth more than $415 are supposed to be reported. But any measures on the subject passed by the Democratic-led Senate are not expected to be entertained by the GOP-controlled House. For these stories and all the news, visit us at WashingtonTimes.com.